everybody, welcome back to another video. Grab yourself a cup of tea or coffee and strap in while I go through a bit of a recap of Me Made May and some thoughts about what I've been wearing and trends in what I'm seeing, as well as talking about what I'm currently working on and some of my future making plans. So today is currently the last day of May, which I am both sad about and relieved by, because I have been over on Instagram taking photos every day of what I've been wearing and documenting it. And let me tell you, it is exhausting taking photos of yourself every day, because most days of the week I do not feel like having a photo taken of myself. But I'm really glad that I documented it because it's shown me some very interesting patterns. So I have got my top 6 items that I wore throughout May that I made. I was going to do like 5, but there was actually 4 garments that all tied for 3rd place. So I will start with them. So first up is actually the item that I kicked off Me Made May wearing, because I wore this on the 1st of May, and it is my Wiksten Shift top in this white linen, and I just really love this. I feel like a crisp white linen shirt is like, it's so versatile, and yeah, I just really love this one. I am kind of surprised that it's in here because I feel like sometimes I get way too cold wearing this in May, because it is linen and it's kind of like oversized and airy, and but yeah, evidently I have worn it a fair few times. So all of these 4 first garments that all tied for 3rd place, I each wore them 3 times. So my Wiksten Shift top. Next up, coming in 3rd, was one that I'm not at all surprised by, and I wouldn't have been surprised if it even had gone to a higher, had got a higher place, was my Ilford Jacket in this cream canvas. And I absolutely love this jacket. I have ever since I first made it, which I think was probably about 2 years ago. I remember wearing it definitely during Me Made May 2 Me Made Mays ago. So this has just been an absolute staple in my wardrobe ever since. I absolutely love it. It's perfect for autumn because it is like a fairly thin jacket, so it's such a good layering piece, and I am not at all surprised that it made it into the top 6. Next up, we have some more pants that I am not at all surprised made it in, and that is my Clyde work pants. I am not at all surprised that these are on the list, because it felt like I was wearing them all the time. Sometimes I consciously had to make myself not wear these for a day because I didn't want to ever recreate the exact same outfit. Obviously, there are pieces throughout that I re-wore, but I didn't ever want to re-wear the exact same combination throughout May if I could help it, which I successfully did. But I think otherwise I would have worn these pants even more than I already did. And I've been wearing these so much ever since I had Wilbur, which was about 5.5 months ago, because elastic waists are postpartum body's best friend. And they're so comfortable, but I also can feel like so put together when I'm wearing these. And they honestly feel like I'm wearing pajamas all day, so it's like maximum comfort levels. Plus I feel like I look put together as well. So that is why these have been so well worn. And the last of my garments that came in for tied 3rd place with 3 wears was one that I'm kind of surprised by, and that is my Peppermint wide leg pants in this like bone linen. And these were some of my first pants that I ever made, and I've always really loved them, but I haven't worn them much for ages because I haven't worn them since before I was pregnant, because they were kind of tight to begin with. And so like even early pregnancy, before I was even showing, it was just like really uncomfortable, like in that first trimester. So I didn't wear them then, obviously didn't wear them later in my pregnancy, and I hadn't tried them on since having Wilbur, except I decided I would, because Me Made May made me think I should try them on just to make sure in case they do fit, and they did. And I am so pleased because I really love these, and yeah, it's so nice to have them back in rotation. So that is it for all of the garments that tied for 3rd place. So now we have Second place is my Ondawa sweater. So this is a bit of a Me Made May baby, because Me Made May was the kick I needed to get this finished. I had actually finished knitting this. I started it in lockdown of 2021, I believe. Finished it when I was pregnant, 2022, and then it sat just in panels with ends weren't woven in, and it wasn't panel stitched together or not blocked or anything. But May came around, and I thought, if I can just put that last little bit of effort in to get this finished, I think I'm going to wear it heaps. And I'm so glad I did, because I did wear it heaps, and it came in second, wearing it a total of 4 times. And again, I think that I would have worn it more if I wasn't trying to not repeat the exact same combinations throughout May. And I just absolutely love this jumper, and I'm so happy that I did. And that's what Me Made May is for, to motivate us to finish those unfinished projects. And it also kicked off my knitting era. Like, I've enjoyed knitting in the past, but I haven't done it heaps more recently. And getting this finished and being able to wear it has just really kicked off my knitting era, and I am just going crazy with the knitting right now. I currently have a few projects on the go, but I'll talk about those later in the video when I talk about my future project. And now, drum roll please, for the winner of Me Made May 2023 is, no surprise, my Dawn jeans. Obviously jeans are just the most versatile pants, and these ones particularly are the second iteration of my Dawn jeans that I've made. And I made them, I think it was 1 size larger in the waist and 2 sizes larger in the rest of it. And they are so comfortable. And even though it's raw denim, I've worn them so much that it's really softened up so nicely. And these are so comfortable for jeans, that is, that I've just worn them so much. And so I wore these 5 times throughout May, which doesn't sound like much, but that is more than once a week in total. So I do feel like I wear these all the time. So that concludes the recap portion of the video. Another honorable mention to this dress that I'm currently wearing. This was another Me Made May baby. I had made this blouse, it's a normal blouse, at least a year ago, and I'd not really worn it very much. I'd worn it a few times to work, when I had to go into the office or something, but obviously I'm not working at the moment. I'm on maternity leave, so I haven't been wearing it, and I knew I had more of the fabric left that I'd used to make it. And Me Made May, when I was going through thinking about things that I have, how could I wear them more, I thought, if I added a gathered skirt to the bottom of this blouse, I think I would wear it way more as a dress, mainly because all my dresses are packed away because I can't breastfeed in them. And I really miss dresses because I love wearing dresses normally. And so I made this about halfway through May, and I wore it twice. So that's once a week, which I feel is quite a lot of times. I just didn't have it to wear until halfway through May. Otherwise, I think it would have potentially been on this list. But an honorable mention to this normal blouse dress conversion that I made. So some of the trends that I noticed, there's one very, very obvious trend, and it is with all of the garments that tied for 3rd place, there is one thing that they all have in common, and that is their color. They are all either white, stark white, off-white, or cream. And that's 4 things. And I think that they're probably the only 4 things that I have in my wardrobe that are these white or cream colors. And I feel that is telling me something, and that is that I am very much gravitating towards lighter colored clothes at the moment. And so I think I'm very much going to keep this in mind when I am fabric shopping, or even in an op shop, or just thinking about clothes in general. I need to keep in mind that if I make something out of a very light color, chances are I'm going to wear it a lot. And so that is very good to know. And something I kind of was aware of throughout May, but it is nice that the the data actually does reflect what I was feeling, and that was that I'm very much gravitating towards light colors. And now onto some of my making plans. I say making, not sewing, because as I mentioned earlier, I'm in my knitting era, and I currently have 2 knitting projects on the needles, and I have yarn for a third that I'm just waiting, because I feel like I can't have 3 projects going at once. It's just like a little bit too much for me. So first up, I have a cardigan I've been knitting for probably a few weeks now. I can't remember its name, but I'll put some clips of me knitting it here. Now the problem is I have run out of yarn. I've done all of the body and I've done most of one sleeve, and I have run out of yarn. And this is yarn that I've had in my stash for like a few years now, and it is not available anymore, so I can't repurchase to get enough to finish it. So I'm gonna have to rethink what I'm doing. So it's on hold at the moment, and what I'm thinking is I'm gonna unravel the bottom of the body of the cardigan and then use that to knit the first part of the second sleeve, so that I have like so I can maybe do some color blocking. So I'll maybe use black, so it's a black and white cardigan, and so there'll be a black band at the bottom of the body and at the bottom of both sleeves. I haven't got around to like dealing with unraveling it, because like it's just kind of the worst. So I have to unravel knitting, and so I'm putting it off, but that is currently on the cards. The other project I currently have on the needles is my first ever pair of socks that I'm knitting, and I am loving it. I'm so enjoying knitting socks, and I find it really hard to find like decent women's like boot socks that aren't like the thin business socks, and because business socks are not warm enough for winter. And so I am so excited about knitting socks, and I think I'm going to be knitting socks like I honestly think I'm going to constantly have a pair of socks on the needles from here on in for like at least the foreseeable future. And so I have the first sock finished, and I'm about 3/4 of the way through knitting the second sock. So I'm very excited to get these finished and wear my first ever pair of hand knitted socks. And I think that now that I know that I can do it and that it's, you know, fun, I'm going to like branch out and have a bit more fun with what color yarns I choose and stuff. So keep a lookout for sock content coming up. So that's it for my knitting plans. Oh, so that's the current projects I'm working on, and the wool that I have purchased, it's off-white again, so it's very on theme with this May. And this is actually wool to knit a cardigan for Wilbur. So it's currently 5.5 months, and we're just heading into winter. But I'm actually going to knit it in size 1 to 2. I can't remember the name of the pattern, but it's from Petite Knits, and I'll put a photo of it here. And so yeah, so I'm going to knit it in size 1 to 2 so that he can wear it really oversized this winter with leggings, because that's super cute anyway. And then hopefully it will still fit him for next winter as well. So he'll get 2 seasons out of it, which would be great, because as you know, a lot of time and more importantly money goes into hand knitting things. So I want him to get 2 seasons out of it. And so that is all the stuff I have purchased in terms of knitting. I have also this navy gingham linen from the fabric store that I've mentioned like at least once already on YouTube. And I even I'm just so indecisive about what to make with it. I even put a poll on Instagram, these are the results, about what I should make out of it. And I think I'm going to make a skirt. I'm going to make another rectangle ruffle skirt like this one that I have here, because I love this skirt so much. And I think it would be nice to have one in like a gingham linen. But the main difference is I think I'm going to do inseam pockets in this one, because it's a bit more of a substantial fabric, so I think it can hold it. Like for instance, this dress, I decided not to put inseam pockets in because it's a very lightweight fabric, and it would just it would make it hang all wrong. So I think that the linen can handle it. So I think I will also probably make a video about adding in inseam pockets to any side seam, so keep watch for that as well. And so that is all of the, I don't have fabric purchased for anything else, but I do also have this pattern for a top and or dress that I was gifted, and I just need to make it and post it on Instagram to fulfill my end of that deal. And so I have to buy some fabric for that, but I'm just not sure yet what kind of fabric it will suit. I think probably a more drapey fabric, but I just don't know. Again, this is why I've been putting it off. But yes, stay tuned for that. I also have plans to make a wall hanging, another like scrap busting kind of project. And I'm going to make a wall hanging for Wilbur's room because the wall above where his cot is like super bare at the moment. And I think a nice way to add some colour would be to add a wall hanging. I'm just going to like make it up as I go, but stay tuned for that as well. And so I think that brings me to the end of all my sewing plans and knitting plans. So yeah. Oh, Wilbur's woken up. We're back. So yeah, as I was saying, I hope that you've enjoyed May, and if you've been participating, I hope that you've also been inspired to finish some of your like works in progress, and and maybe even get some insights into the kinds of clothes you're gravitating towards, just so you can get more wear out of the clothes that you do have and make good decisions about clothes that you will wear when you're thinking about making stuff new, because the last thing we want is to have clothes that are going to waste. So yeah, I feel like that's what Me Made May is all about, and I've enjoyed participating, and I look forward to doing it again next year, though I must say I'm also glad that I won't have to take daily photos of myself again until for another year. But thanks for watching, and see you again next time. Bye!